Biscuits and tea.
30, 34, 34. Period. 99.
34, 99.
Welcome back, guys. A little bit of beatboxing. Tyler seemed to be really into that. B's got a nice cup of tea? Coffee tea?
Yeah, it's a new brand called Coffee Tea, and it's a nice mix blend between black tea leaves and coffee, and it's sponsored by Golaremi.
Sponsored by Golaremi and Rode. We just want to give a big shout out to Rode. Honestly, you guys' mics have saved us in times of danger. I sleep with a mic on. I sometimes go to the bathroom with a mic. I do a lot of things with Rode mics because they're that good, and we just want to thank you guys for sponsoring Biscuits and Tea and the Way of Will John and Golaremi. Basically everything we do.
Yep. We've been using Rode mics since NAM. You know, back in the day, we came across them.
Carry the one.
It's been outstanding, really. I don't really know what these are. Definitely not Rode, but you know.
But this is. Yeah, this is Rode.
That is
right here.
That is.
Yeah, and you guys can tell the difference. You can tell. Tyler, you want to go ahead and join the podcast anytime here soon, or?
Yeah, why don't you just brief us on where you're at in life? You know, what are you doing? Where are you at right now? What is going on? I think that he just joins the podcast and everyone's just like, yeah, Tyler's there. But like, what really is Tyler up to?
So I'm worried I might have become a Croatian Karen.
Uh-oh.
I need a definition.
Oh, does he know what Karen? You know what Karen is?
I properly stay out of all on Biscuits and Tea, as you guys know, is the news for me.
Yep.
So
Karen,
go ahead and explain this.
You want to go ahead?
I don't even know the best way to explain.
Okay, I can explain Karen.
Pull it up on the internet. We got Paulus here. Shout out to Paulus, the editor, real quick.
I have the perfect thing to show you regarding what Karen is, but I don't know if you're going to be able to see it because it's a private Instagram account. So that's one issue that we're going to run into here, guys.
These people with these private Instagram accounts.
I'll look up, see if there's an Urban Dictionary definition.
Is this going to be one of
Karen is the type. It's a woman. It's a specific woman who walks into your local Applebee's. And Karen, she sits down and she's with her family. And Karen orders mozzarella sticks. And when she orders mozzarella sticks, she's in a very good mood. She's very happy. And 15 minutes go by, right? It's really busy at Applebee's. It's a Saturday. They got the $5 off margaritas. They got the whatever it is, it's very busy. We got a lot of people in Applebee's. Karen wants her mozzarella sticks, though. And Karen has not gotten her mozzarella sticks. Manager, please. Management, I need to speak to the manager of the Applebee's because my mozzarella sticks have not arrived yet. And I need my mozzarella sticks. I ordered them 10 minutes ago. It's been 15 minutes. And she freaks out on the manager and she loses her mind. And basically there's this like craze of internet videos. Why did I say that? There's all these videos that are coming out of women across the United States that are just losing their mind about wearing face masks, losing their mind about, not getting a discount or coupon code or having to stand. It's just these middle-aged women with a short bob haircut, and they just lose their mind on management.
Is there a Karen Zero? Oh, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. I will.
The definition on Urban Dictionary is the stereotypical name associated with rude, obnoxious, insufferable middle-aged white women.
Okay, so I would like to ask, just out of the question, and save that if you can, throw that, for Paulus. Is there a Karen Zero, like a patient zero? Is there like a Karen?
There definitely was.
From Poland, and she was like Karen .0, and she went to Applebee's, and then she got known at Applebee's. They kicked her out. She started going to Chili's. They kicked her out of Chili's, and like it's just like Karen cannot not freak out.
Yeah, Karen was developed in the late 90s, early 2000s, when all these women started cutting their hair in this like bob, really short haircut. When they,
I remember that.
It's that, and it's like I think it may have developed in Johnson County, Kansas. I'm pretty sure.
There's definitely a part of Johnson County like that. Yeah.
So, but they always existed, but then they just finally found their own little classification in the animal kingdom.
There's a university for it now. Go ahead and click on that link in the Skype. It's Karen University. It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my entire life on the
You're
internet.
joking.
It is hilarious, dude.
Oh, this is a YouTube clip.
It's a TikTok video. It's so funny, dude.
Oh, it's a TikTok video. Karen University.
Here at Karen University, we offer the finest education, from language lessons.
Now repeat after me. I want to speak to the manager. I want to speak to the manager. Very good.
Biology lessons.
Now this is your stereotypical manager.
And even fashion lessons.
Now you want the back to be as short as possible.
Enroll today to become the best pain in the arse that you can be at Karen University.
Oh shit. That's funny.
So funny, dude. That got posted by that Puberty, I think that's what it's called, that Instagram page, and it's private, but like it has
I know it.
so many views, dude. It's so that video is hilarious.
I'm gonna hope to dear God that you guys can still hear me well.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Does it sound like it's coming through the mic? This is Biscuits and Tea. We're a quality program.
Yep, you're tapping on the mic. I can hear it.
All right, good.
So, B, that actually, it's funny you mentioned the face mask, because that's where my story revolves around, is with not wearing a face mask.
Losing their shit about it. They're losing their mind about wearing a face mask.
Yeah, go ahead, Tyler. I know Tyler's got a. Do you people? We need to establish first off. You said Croatia. I know a lot of people. We've got a heavy American fan base here on Biscuits and Tea, and we know this because we have statistics. Don't know how many people could point out Croatia on a map. And
My little
Paulo, make sure you throw that in there. Yeah, no, I don't know how many people can point out Croatia on a map, and I don't even know before moving there, 10 years ago, if I would have been able to. It's not a big country,
It's a distinct looking country, though.
It's a very distinct looking country. It's in the. Basically, there's a part of Europe that is kind of like heaven in the south there, in that Mediterranean. It's one of the two places. When you start heading south, you get to Spain, and you got the islands down there. You go to the south of France, you get in the south of Italy, you got Greece, and you got Turkey. All those places, they got like this just perfect zone where everything is great.
It's kind of a mix of like the West Coast and then the south of the U.S. It's be like, or not. I don't know what it would be. I don't even know what it would be.
I don't. It's not Florida. It's not New York like.
It almost be like if you took. What if you took Canada and you put Canada's geography down and then you put a nice coast on it? I don't know what.
It's like Vancouver,
closer to the West Coast.
Closer, yeah, like towards Pacific Northwest. Not
exactly. But it's not green. It's not super green. It's rocky.
Canada's green.
Yeah. Parts of it is. I was surprised how green Croatia was driving down to the coast, though. That was almost like kind of the Appalachian Mountains, except bigger.
Is everything in Croatia just like rock and limestone?
On the coast.
On the coast, yeah.
On the coast, man. Yeah, you got a lot of rock. You get that rock sand at the beach. They do have sandy beaches, also, but
there are dinosaurs there.
I wish there were dinosaurs there.
Could you dig up dinosaurs out of the ground in Croatia?
I knew what you meant. I mean, I actually did want there to actually be dinosaurs there right now because vacation time. But no, I think I don't know. Did dinosaurs? I feel like dinosaurs were just an American thing. Like that's an American.
Yeah.
Like,
dinosaurs were everywhere because it was Pangea, so it was all connected.
Well, first off, I'm joking.
Oh no.
Yes, we know that dinosaurs were definitely everywhere. There may have been places where dinosaurs were not.
Trump said dinosaurs were only in America, so
then that's true. Jesus, Trump, Buddha.
I do know Jesus Christ was born in Olathe, Kansas.
That is true. Speaking of which, we got our top 10 Europeans saying American words, and Olathe Not one person was able to say that. Not
Dude, people in
one.
America don't say Olathe right. People, it is the hardest city name for anybody in anywhere to say. Even if you live in Missouri and you've never heard of Olathe for some reason, I don't know why you wouldn't have, but they'll say Olathe every time.
I would assume most people from Olathe also can't say it because they just repress it from their memory of ever having actually being there.
Oh,
Yeah,
gosh.
that is just. I can't wait till he goes there. I can't wait till he goes there. It's gonna suck. It's gonna suck for you liking what is basically heaven on
You'd
earth.
love it here.
It's just suburban.
I could see it. It's probably a place where I'd visit for a week, and then that'd be enough for.
Yeah, I'm sure. It's the greatest place in the world. You have Olathe, Overland Park, you have Leawood, and you got downtown KC, Westport, you got the plaza. You have no idea. You have no
Rich
idea.
fucking money.
We got
Tyler,
that cash.
Tyler, they're rich though. They got their cash. Like you got that. You got the cash, obviously, that you've raped, pillaged, and plundered from years of fucking ridiculousness. But ours is hard earned. Like we grow our crops.
We started Garmin.
Yeah, we
Where
started
do you
White
think
Castle.
Where did all that land come from? Where did your farmlands come from?
Didn't come from you guys. You guys.
No, it didn't come from us. It came from someone else.
Well, yeah, but I mean, clearly, it's not our fault. It's not our fault. You guys started that up there with the colonies up there. That's not us. It took a long time before people started venturing out towards Kansas. They were like, enough of this. Enough smallpox. Enough fake Thanksgivings. Let's move out to the heart of America.
Yeah.
The actual center of the U.S. is in
We've already been over this. Kansas was full of quitters. It was everyone trying to make it to the West Coast, and they were like, you know what? This is too hard. We're going to take the easy way out. This doesn't look like the best place to live, but whatever. We'll just settle here.
I will agree with that. The only problem is that if we're quitters, you guys didn't even start.
Oh,
you didn't start. Oof, you didn't start.
Oh, I'm sorry. We didn't start. We started by crossing the Atlantic Ocean into uncharted territories. What on earth are you talking about?
Same people.
Jamestown.
Same people. Same people. Same people.
Virginia, Jamestown was the first settlement in the U.S. That's in Virginia. We were the original explorers. You guys just waited until everything was comfortable. You can bring over all your little supplies, and then you got it a little mapped out.
That's exactly how your expedition started. You took some stuff from England, bankrolled by the biggest world power at the time. You came over on a boat. You stopped there, and you're like, "This is good. We're good. Just keep sending those checks." Keep sending those checks. And then some people were like, well, I don't want that anymore. I want to go further away from that. And they went out there. Those people who had it perfect, those are your real heroes.
Entrepreneurs.
Not your you're just sitting there, queen, just sending you money.
Yeah. Everything that is great about America started in Kansas. Let me explain
100%.
this to you. White Castle started in Wichita.
Boom.
P.F. Chang's started in Wichita. Pizza Hut started in Wichita.
Boom.
Those are all very average in their categories.
It's $1 billion company.
No.
Pizza Hut's one of the worst pizza chains.
Made $1 billion.
in the
Don't
US.
tell me it don't.
Yeah.
$1 billion.
Yeah.
Off pizza, dude.
Pizza. Off pizza.
They sell
White
so
Castle.
much pizza they make billions of dollars.
Dude, White Castle is disgusting.
Horrible.
How did they make $1 billion? Okay? These are your thinkers, Tyler. These are your thinkers.
It's because they're selling it to people in Kansas.
That
White
just
Castle
doesn't.
is very popular on the coast.
They're selling it to people in Kansas.
Could
you imagine?
You'll buy, you guys will buy anything.
They
You're
built
either
a
gonna
terrible company and terrible food, and they built them on the coast and then sold it to all the idiots on the coast.
Yeah. We'll try it. I'll try it. We're open out here on the coast, bro. Surf. It's fucking what we got going on out here, man. It's awesome.
I think you guys overestimate White Castle's actual reach.
That's just one of them. That's just one.
Because White Castle, I've literally seen one White Castle in my entire life.
You ever had those letter straps, Tyler?
From where?
P.F. Chang's.
World renowned.
No, I've never eaten at P.F. Chang's.
Oh.
We'll make a tour. We'll make a little tour for you. We'll get a little. What do we got going on? Okay, first off, COVID update, USA. Can we get that really quick?
It's not going good. It really not going well. Yeah, we got like new highs, like more cases than April in Missouri
What?
and Kansas. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's bad. It's really bad.
So it's going backwards.
It's getting worse. And then people here are like, oh, it's open up, man. So let's just go out and party, bro. Like, we don't need to follow those phase 1, phase 2.2. Nah, man, right back at it. And they're just out there. Everyone's just drinking after each other, talking, spitting on each other's faces. And we have not even a second wave. I don't even know if you call it a second wave. It's like the actual time that it's going to be worse than everything that was going on previously.
So did the dip happen successfully? Like, there was a dip? So it's kind of a
Did
second
it dip
wave,
or
but
plateau?
yeah, did it plateau?
We don't have enough data to really. Do we? I don't know. Do we?
Pull that up.
How
Tyler?
does statistics?
Here, I'll look up some. I know Croatia. We just had a terrible day.
Yeah, I know, because it's weird. Obviously, being in Sweden, Sweden was like, as we said, and we talked about this. I don't know if we talked about this on the podcast or not. Sweden was just like COVID, and they just straight looked at COVID and just bitch slapped COVID right in the face, and we're like, we're not going inside.
So when you go out, do you wear a face mask?
Listen to me right now, B. I have been here basically this entire year. There has not been a single ounce of change in life here other than everybody left. So all the tourists left. Everybody disappeared. And there was less people out, especially starting in March. The restaurants did not close. Gyms did not close. Less people were out. They instituted social distancing. Everybody kept their distance, stuff like that. Everything else went on as normal. That's it. I mean, no football for that time period, but everything else went as normal. Nothing, B. No face masks, no rules, restrictions. You can go out whenever you want. I don't have the same COVID story that you guys have. Like, I will remember this. We'll be talking to people in like 40 years being like, and when COVID was crazy, I'll be like, sorry, like, I saw it, but it's just not happening, B. There's no face mask rule. There's none of that. So I don't know what's going on. And like, Tyler will tell his story about face masks and stuff. But
no, yeah. Before Tyler goes into that, yeah, I mean, Kansas City yesterday mandated you have to wear face masks
everywhere outside.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. That's not America. Like, people don't like that.
Oh no.
No, I don't like that.
No.
So no, it's pretty bizarre, man. It's definitely not. I don't know if, like, I need to understand more about like the attitude of the Swedish, and like, are they actually doing social distancing? Are they following rules? Are they washing their hands? Like what is the thing that's making it not get so bad? Like, why America is so bad? Like, that's why the doctor needs to come. I want to have a doctor talk about it.
Exactly. Well, that's the thing. You say they don't care. They do care, but they don't care enough for it to stop their lives. And obviously, there are and were some people, mainly older. There's, from what I understand, mainly older, and we do need to get these doctors on, that were dying, that they could have possibly prevented by trying to completely curtail everything like many of these countries did, by just everybody just shut down, everybody inside, nothing, But by and large, it's going to be hard to have a second wave when there's not going to be lockdown here. It wouldn't make sense. You're going to lock down what? And so the thing is that, like they always thought, in the long run, is because there was lockdown there where you're at. That happened. They opened back up, and what's happening in these other countries, in Croatia, it's going up again. They were in lockdown, and now they're out mingling, and it's just going up again. So,
well, it's not from us mingling. It's from the tourists. Everyone was mingling like for the past month.
Go back inside, and after a year, you won't have a country to live in. You won't have anything. You won't have anything left. Croatia's economy is built on tourism. That whole coast is one of the most gorgeous places on earth. Everybody knows it, and everybody goes there. And this is the time when that happens. They need to make money because they need to eat food. And like, you can shut down, and it will keep people safe. But there's going to be a time after COVID. So we got to figure something out. Get together, get smart, and let's fucking figure it out,
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. Arizona and Texas and Florida, like, they're just getting hit like hard. Like, And it's the funny thing is they're like, well, New York got hit. And we're like, New York got hit and they didn't even know what they were getting hit with. They didn't even know what was happening, dude. It just happened like in 3 days, the whole city fell apart. And Arizona and Florida and Texas literally tried to do what Sweden did, was look it in the face and say, we're not scared of you, bitch. And they walked right into it and they're getting smoked. Absolutely smoked. I think they're having to shut down again. Like they're actually shutting down. We got people at K-State, which is the university here. Whole football team has it. All students are getting it already. So people are getting back, like athletes, onto campuses to start playing. They're flying in from multiple different cities, maybe from overseas, going to campus, and then they're all getting it. And then they have to shut down. It's pointless, dude. Like, it makes no sense.
Shit. Did I see it correctly? Did a state close? Did New York State close? I thought I saw a headline. I didn't click on it, but I thought I saw
there's no way it's ever gonna be enforced. They want anyone coming in to quarantine themselves for 2 weeks.
No one's doing that.
No one's doing that.
Yeah, I don't know what the point of even setting that up is. Like, how are you going to enforce that?
Corporations are kind of following that because I think there's liabilities. Like if they do have someone fly in for business and then that person passes it to someone and they die, like they didn't follow the protocol, so the company is held liable for that. I'm not 100% sure on that. I'm not a lawyer, but people who are traveling and it's just like, wear a face mask when you go out. Well, you have to do quarantine for 2 weeks. Well, I'm not going to pay for a hotel when I travel to a city for 14 days and then start my vacation. So your people are just going and starting their, whatever.
Yeah, I get it. That sucks.
I mean, I want to go to LA. I want to go to New York. I want to go to Chicago. I don't want to be in Kansas City 100% of the time. Who wants to be in the same city every single day? I'm not traveling right now because I don't want to hurt anybody or cause any things to get worse. Like, I just want to wait for a little while, hold still, chill, and then we can get back to it. But it's not safe right now.
Are these people dying? I need to understand. Are these people, like K-State football team all gets it? Are they dying? Like, are people, who's dying? That's what I mean. I don't mean that like in an insensitive way. I want to know who's dying. That's an important
Their grandparents.
Thing.
Like the family if they have older parents, their grandparents, family members is probably who would get hit.
I don't know
if they all got.
Okay, but I'm not asking potentially, hypothetically. I mean, who's dying from COVID right now in the world, and who is dying at the biggest and most rate? I get that obese people may be at people with diabetes, older people with underlying conditions. That's all the stuff that I've heard. I don't know if any of that's true. I just want to know, if the team catches COVID, is one out of my teammates going to die? Like, that's a legit question because we're all really scared. And
no, I think like we'd be fine, but there are people who it can like decrease your lung capacity, your breathing, a bunch of like long term. Like it can mess up a bunch of long term stuff, or especially if you're an athlete and all of a sudden you have 20% less.
I just don't know how much we can put stock into the you might or you can't. Like, that's what Will's trying to say here. Like, hey, what are the chances? And like, that's the only way you can deal with these situations with the scale of how big the world is and stuff. Like, you can't decide what to do based on, one. I know.
It's also everyone's so concerned about just the death. Like, if you die, like the worst result. Like, it's not a good disease. Like, you're just fucked up for like.
But is it? I feel like we don't have. Okay, you're fucked up for weeks, but like you said, there's possibility of some, your lungs possibly not functioning in the same way. But is that confirmed? It's a new. It's new.
No, that's the problem. It's a new disease. We don't know the long-term effects of it. That's like a huge issue.
But I mean,
you could be fucking with yourself.
I've had the flu. You've had the flu. I've had the flu. The flu is also deadly. We now live with the flu. We now live with it, and so the flu is just a part of your life. There's a second wave every freaking year. It comes and it's there, and we don't talk about the long-term issues of catching the flu once and what it's going to do to you when you're 40.
I don't think there really is anything. I think people would.
Is there a thing for COVID? I want some real answers. This is why we need the doctor on. I too much hearsay. It's once again, I'm back at the things. It's just like the Epstein case. I don't care. Wait till the end is there, and then I just need to know what's up? What's the world death count at? Also, I mean, it's still valid, and I know the problem is also people are saying that they're reporting deaths that aren't COVID deaths. Like if a car accident happens and that person also tests positive for COVID, it's marked as a death for.
The reported deaths are 500,000.
That's a lot of people.
So I think in America, the CDC, so it looks like 109.
So that's 500,000 with China saying they've only had like 2,000 deaths.
Yeah, which is
So it's
maybe 6.
I mean, it's maybe it's a million. Like,
I mean,
honestly,
let's say it's somewhere. It's pretty bad, but yeah, I don't know. I honestly, this is going to be one of the weirdest times to look back on.
Yeah, it really will be, because I think a lot of it was avoidable, obviously, with better management of the situation, better crisis management, especially on the U.S. side. But I think the interesting thing with the U.S. is that every state has their own decisions to make, and there isn't a like every other country, they make their guidelines and they follow those guidelines. We're the only country that has all these little territories that do whatever they want, and then you take that and then include travel, so you have Kansas over here, Missouri over here, 2 different sets of rules and laws. It doesn't work. Everyone has to be on the same system, same plan for this kind of thing. You can't just free for all.
Yeah.
The other big issue in the U.S. is it became politicized.
Oh yeah,
like wearing a mask is a political statement, which is just one of the dumbest things ever. Like, that's really what you're going to try to make your political statement of having to wear a mask or not? Like, it's just
so I didn't click on that headline too. I saw that exact headline, literally what you just said. How did the face mask become politicized? I didn't click on it because I didn't want to know, because it sounded like I told you guys about the guy that I saw cut out his. I don't understand the message. He cut out the mouth and still wore the mask. I don't know what he's saying. So as a person from the outside who doesn't really know what he's trying to represent, is that a screw you to Trump? Who is
Liberals?
No, it's the conservative. It's a screw you to the liberals. It's the conservatives saying that it's infringing on their freedoms is wearing a mask. That's like.
And the liberals are saying what?
That you should wear a mask because it's what the doctors are saying you should do.
There's this video. It's horrible, and it's like a town hall meeting, and these people from Texas walk to the mic, and they're like, "Jesus Christ allowed me to be able to breathe out carbon dioxide or monoxide or what is it that you fucking breathe out?" And then he's like, "And Jesus Christ allowed me to be able to live and breathe, and I can't have this mask. You're breathing in all the toxic chemicals you're breathing out." And it's just like, wait a second, what are you?
What are they talking about?
It's
so weird.
They're talking about she's talking about she's mentioning that like God didn't make people to wear masks, like we weren't intended to wear masks or something. It's like, okay, you're not intended to get chemotherapy either. People still do it. Like
you're not supposed to get radiation. You're not supposed to have that.
So
but
it's become like a religious thing too.
We weren't prepared to be on a ventilator. Like, it's just
become a religious thing, though. I mean, because I know politics now in the U.S. is religion too. But what's the? There was that guy.
It's Trump.
Said right.
It's Trump.
I get it, but Trump's not religious. Also, part of how is this?
But they think he is.
Do these people really believe that this dude with the whole porn star thing, with this and everything he's ever done and said, what religion is he following? Supposedly,
evangelical Christian. Yeah.
Is he does he say that? Is that part of his things? Like,
that's why he had all the protesters on the DC lawn shot with rubber bullets and pepper balls so he could go get his little photo op with his Bible that he held upside down in front.
The church is like, yeah, we did not say we wanted him there. He was not welcome to do that. He's using our church as a political tool, and it's disgusting. And so you have key leaders, obviously, that are standing against, but there's also still just a group of people that are like, oh, well, I mean, that's where the money is, and that's where the money's going to be coming from. So let me just make sure I keep supporting this party. And
yeah. Speaking of religion, not to change, it's not far off a change. It is religion. But do you guys know, is it not weird to think that we have a religion now, we're talking about Catholicism mainly, that had an army? These people were rulers of Europe and the earth, and they were able to send their armies out to play. Like, could you imagine going down to your church just being like, I don't really like Muhammad down there. I don't like him. And the priest being like, yeah, you know what? Let me call a couple generals, and they're gonna send an army to go slaughter everyone in that area and bring back jewels and go take the land. What was going on?
I just saw a small YouTube clip from some movie that was just showing like the Crusaders showing up to some city. Oh my god. It's just waves of these guys on horses with these crazy flags, with just people walking around with these like gold helmets, like just out of control.
Yeah, it was nuts. What a crazy time. They were out there, and God said that we were supposed to have that land, that you're not supposed to have that land. So
That's convenient.
guess what? We're gonna send people, and the Vatican. You guys know the Vatican has a library. It's one of the biggest libraries in the world. It holds some of your best thinkers and humanity's best kept secrets, knowledge, all this stuff. You can't get in there. You can't go in. It's theirs. They've decided it's ours. It's our knowledge. It's ours. You can't have any of it. And if you want to get in, you can write. And then, in order for you to read the book, someone has to monitor you. You have to tell them what specifically you want to read. All this. They have. This is why we need a producer here, because if we pulled up the list of things that are in this library, it will blow your mind. You go, so wait a second. How come we all don't just have this? Like, we need to start there. Where's a storm Area 51? Right here on Biscuits and Tea. Storm the Vatican. Okay.
Storm the Vatican. Someone's gonna show up at our front door like, you said on BNT that you're gonna start storming the Vatican, and we want to make sure that you're not gonna do that.
Yeah, you get a call. Or make sure you're not actually gonna do that. Right?
How much easier do you think it'd be to storm the Vatican than Area 51?
Well, I don't think it would be very easy. They have their own police force. They have their own. The Vatican's, just because they don't have an army like they do now, the Vatican is so wealthy. They are so rich and so powerful. It's no different than everybody living in your city right there, where they look like, hey Bob, hey Sherry, and like Sherry goes down to work and like she has the nuclear, she flies a drone. Like, these people, the Vatican, you've got to see some shit on that. And it's not, once again, it may be conspiracy, but it's not. Obviously, we know who these people are. Incredibly wealthy, incredibly powerful. Within people would go missing, just like you've heard of all the pedophile cases that happen throughout the U.S. and stuff like that. There's some famous cases of kids and young girls disappearing in the Vatican, and yeah, we don't talk about it, and we know something happened, and they just cover it up, and poof. What are you gonna do? Which is really the question. What are you going to do? You going to send a crusade against the Vatican?
Yeah, you'll burn in hell if you do that, right?
Oh, wait, there's like some weird guy in a speakerphone outside.
Yeah, we can hear it. Welcome to Croatia, folks. This is Biscuits and Tea. We got.
Is there anything more rude than doing that? Just having your speakerphone on out in public and just talking, and then there's other people around you, and you're just yelling into your phone, and someone's yelling back at you on speaker.
I can give you one more thing that I think is, it's probably, I don't know if it's more rude, but I think it's just as rude. I think all of you bikers, motorcycle enthusiasts. Now, here's the thing. I'm all for fast speed. Like, I'm all for it. Go out to the racetracks, go out to the middle of nowhere, drive 1,000,000 miles an hour. We all know you can drive super fast in a straight line and nothing's going to happen to you. Like, it's just a fact. When you drive through my residential neighborhood with your muffler or whatever at what B, how rude is this? There's nothing more.
At like 10:45 at night, 11 o'clock at night. It literally happened last night, dude. I live in suburban Kansas. Like, it's on the edge of being country, like literally where I live in Lenexa. But every night, without fail, there's some idiot and some little Mazda with a giant muffler that just goes as fast as he can through this neighborhood. And we're just like, well, hope he's having a good time. At least I hope he's...
Exactly. What is that? You can't... But the thing is, and I don't know, this is once again like the parrot, like having a parrot on your shoulder when you go...
Dude, bring him on the show. Put him on the show.
Can you guys hear this
so
shit?
Loud.
Can you
I
understand what
can't
they're
hear it
saying?
well enough. He's gone now.
It's like a dude driving around in just an unmarked white van with just speaker.
We are going to kill
gonna get in
everyone.
trouble.
This
I'm gonna
neighborhood is
go
not
up.
going to survive.
I guarantee I'm gonna get in trouble again. You just said you can't go outside. If you go outside, you're gonna be arrested. I'm gonna step outside. I'm gonna get arrested.
Exactly. You can't understand.
If you stand outside, you will be shot with rubber bullets.
Yeah, exactly. You guys saw that clip of that mom, right? That stepped
the
out
neighborhood?
of her.
Yeah.
That is the scariest thing I've ever seen. I couldn't it looks like out of a movie.
Light them
Like
up.
she's literally
That's what he
light
said.
them up. Light them up.
What? Dude, they're in
I
their
don't know
house.
what she looks like.
Kids,
Like,
women.
What if like we're in the wrong? Like what if she was actually like one of these like super from the South? Like she's holding an AK. We just can't see her. She got a rocket launcher. She's like getting ready. He's like, light her up, light her up. And she's like, oh. Yeah.
YouTube.
I don't know. Yeah.
I'm just joking.
But what I was going to say be about the motorcycle dude or the car, or whoever it is that decides to drive their whatever at 10 o'clock at night through a residential area. There's no other. You can't do that with anything else. All right, let's get the three of us together. I'll give you a drum set, Tyler. I'll give you a trombone. All right. And I will take a glass sheet and let's just walk down the street and just bang on it for like 10 minutes and just walk down the street. We're going to get arrested. All of us. We're all going to jail. But if you get on a motorcycle or in a car and just go like and just scream down my street, it's okay. It's not okay, dude.
No,
It's not.
You can get tickets for it.
But who's giving them these tickets, dude? No one's doing it.
That's
Like,
my car.
I won't-
It's loud. Paid $15,000 for that muffler, bro. You gonna give me a ticket?
I mean, the worst case of that ever was in Rovaniemi.
Yeah, those were dirt bikes, B.
I had a glass. I had a glass on my windowsill. On my windows, this person was parked maybe 50 yards away from McDonald's. It was so loud that it shook the glass off my windowsill and broke it. Our windows would be shaking from this one
So
dude.
obnoxious. Have you guys seen that South Park episode where they make fun of the people who do that stuff?
I think so. Yeah.
And it's like, obviously, I don't even know if I want to say it. Like can you even say the F word?
oh,
Not fuck, but the actual bad F word. That I think in this
You know what?
context, let me explain this.
Okay. Do you want to? Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead, and I'll
So
give you
the
another.
word fag or faggot has all kinds of horrible meanings, but it had other meanings in the past. And you know how generationally people have words that mean different things and have different meanings, different cultures and whatever it may be. But South Park did a really funny job at displaying what the word fag or faggot meant to them and to like our generation. When we hear the word fag, we don't think about someone who's homosexual. We think about someone who's just obnoxious or annoying or an idiot or all that kind of stuff. So when you're a kid and you're using that word, you're not thinking about hurting or like what's they would burn sticks, like a fag. It's like a group of sticks or something.
Oh yeah. It was a bundle of sticks. Yeah. I mean, it's also the word for cigarette in Britain.
And what they would like they would obviously kill homosexuals for being gay, and that's what they would be referred to, and that's where the negative slur came from for homosexuals.
But the actual that it wasn't they wouldn't burn them at the stake. They would burn them with the rest of the sticks for whoever they were burning at the stake. Is what.
So that's where the slur derives from. But South Park, they tried to like shed light on that. Well, at least from the way I perceived it, that okay, that word has nothing to do with being homosexual. It's actually the people who go around and rev their engines and are on motorcycles. Like those are the people that are fags. It's the weirdest thing.
That's the beauty.
Yeah.
No, I agree. That's the beauty of South Park. I mean, those two guys are geniuses. Shout out. That's probably those dudes don't ever do podcasts and ever do anything. They will be on biscuits and tea, guys. Just letting you know. We've got to find a way to get some. No, they're brilliant. Those two dudes are genius, and always the satire that they do. It's the same, and I don't know that it was that, but I definitely saw an interview, and I don't know if Matt Stone or I think it's Trey Parker, right? I think that's his name as well. Both those guys that do South Park. But the same goes for the word gay as a growing up in like in the early 90s, calling someone gay as a kid didn't have
Has
anything to do
nothing
with
to do with
not even even calling a person that. It was what the weirdest thing about it was, like, you could get a guy kissing his girlfriend,
Exactly.
and you'd be like, that's so gay. You would say that. That's what you would say to him.
I used to say it all the time where you're calling one of your friends and they're like, "Oh, what are you doing today?" I said, "Oh, hanging out with my girlfriend." You're just gay.
It's so funny because it clearly doesn't make sense. So it's weird. But yeah, society moves too quick sometimes, and we can't have a discussion about how that happened, and it just happened so quickly, and then the youth take it, and like the older people are like, that doesn't mean that anymore. You can't say
once I realized the history behind the word, and like obviously, like I was scared to say it on the podcast. Like I was literally scared, but like I've never used any either gay or fag in any way towards homosexuals. It's always been some immature little adolescent, story or kid, thing that happened, that, like you guys said, where someone's literally doing something that's not homosexual and you're calling it gay. It's like makes no sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
But then you do run into the problem where like a bunch of gay people growing up also have had that used against them actually in like a hurtful way, even if
exactly, which is why we don't say it. Which is the reason. Yeah, it doesn't. It's because, and that's also what's pretty important, because it's in a sense, I don't know if I'm using this, the least common denominator. Like it's those people we tend to society, and it's also a fault because we do this in a very poor way. Like just hear me out on this, but like the reason we don't use those slur, clearly gay people are not in the majority on Earth or in the U.S. or anywhere. But we don't use that as a slur because we don't want to offend them. That's a good thing for society. That's
exactly.
Good.
And it's important. Yeah, and it's important that you and Tyler and me, like, we all understood that yes, we did use those words at some point in our lives early on, but when we did hear the concerns of someone else that it might hurt them, we stopped, and it's okay.
Yeah, that took a while to get out of my vocab.
Sure.
From like high school, like even early in college.
But
like
that's the whole point.
Yeah.
That's the
because it's always like such a reactionary. Like it's just like curse words in general, just reactionary things where you just something happens and you just out.
Yeah. That's the whole point. I mean, it's a weird thing that it takes so long to get out of it, but it's also because you've attached it to something that they don't. You hear the same thing for racist, like people. Like I think also you guys know who Cat Williams is.
Yep.
I know the name.
He's a black comedian. He's absolutely hilarious. He's truly crazy. Absolutely.
Like fights kids. Like he's hilarious. Like he's hilarious.
Oh, I've seen that video.
He's truly nuts. He's also a genius. And also when you get him to calm down and sit and like see him in interviews, you go, oh, okay. So you're super smart. I see what's going on here. You're super smart and you're super eccentric. So, you've got both of those worlds going on, and it creates this thing. But like you sit him down, you realize, oh, he's very talented. But like he on stage and in his stand-up acts would say it wouldn't even border really. It was basically homophobic. And so he would use that in some of his big specials. And then what happened is, like, as the specials came on, people would start to say things. I think even Kevin Hart had his own issue with this also. But growing up in like the black culture also as well, and like not being like, gay people weren't accepted. There's you've got a whole mix of things now to deal with and all this stuff. And Kat literally on stage goes, I didn't even know I was homophobic. Like he was like, I didn't know that I had. He's like, I don't really have any problem with gay people, but like I didn't know. Like imagine that's how complex human society is. Like, I don't dislike gay people really, but like I didn't know I was being homophobic.
Well, you think, I mean, he went to public school, maybe he went to church. You have all these influences telling you that that's not the right thing. You might not actually care about it, but you're being told it's not the right thing. And then there's all this culture behind these words and these things that we say. And it's okay, well, let's start running into issues. But you have to have people like that go and do a live special and then say those things. And then people provide their input about, okay, that's actually crossing a line, or that's offensive to me. And then he learns. And then people learn. And then whenever we all advance. And that's the whole point, right? Like, why can't people make mistakes, admit they're made mistakes, fix it, and then move forward? Like we have such an issue with that nowadays.
Cancel culture, cancel them, cancel.
Kevin Hart, that joke is, first of all, these are comedians, and I hate when people. That's the only thing I don't agree with this whole Cat Williams thing is it's a comedic, it's theater, it's not real, it's a joke, and all people do with comedy is try to say that's not funny, that's not funny, that's not funny. Well, humor is how
don't laugh, and it'll kill it. Yeah,
like obviously the things that these comedians talk about that are serious in this area, like these little very controversial jokes, like it's their way of getting through this stuff, understanding it. And if it's a really sad thing like the Holocaust, like, no, the Holocaust is not funny, but people can make jokes about it, and that can be a positive thing for people. And like, I don't know how to explain
take
it
some
100%. Yeah.
Nah, you're.
I mean,
Go ahead.
South Park had a whole episode on that with 9/11, where at what point does 9/11 can become funny, or you cannot become funny, but when can you joke about it? I forget what the episode was even.
I don't know if I've seen it.
I don't remember that one.
Was it closer towards?
They were making like some 9/11 jokes or
Okay.
something.
Okay, I really need to watch all the South Parks. I freaking love. But it is funny though, because if you think about 9/11 as one, how many times do people, on the flip side, all our politicians and literally almost anyone, it's hard to now. You want to thank people that did some great things during 9/11 or who contributed to either making things safer after, but like every speech we get talked to, they're like, and I was having a burger at McDonald's in Jacksonville, Florida, and on 9/11, then the and wait a second, like you can't just say it. Everyone just says it, and so now we're like in a weird place where now you can just say 9/11, and now it's we can't talk about it. We can't do anything. I think Bill Burr has a bit on that. Is it Bill Burr, the one where or maybe it's about the army, where
the funniest bit on 9/11 for me is Norm Macdonald.
Maybe I don't know what he's talking about. Do you remember? Like, maybe not the bit.
It was just someone was talking. He was on a show, and it was one of those ones where they have little flashcards, and then he says, "You just a flashcard, and you have to name it or something." And one of them was like, "What's the worst name for a airline?" And he's like, "Oh, 9/11 airline was what it was." and the guy who he's talking with just like puts his head on his face, just like, "Geez, you can't say that." He's like, "I know, like what a terrible name for an airline. It just makes me think of that awful tragedy."
This is Norm saying this?
Norm puts the card down.
Okay.
Yeah, this is all Norm saying this. And then the guy just laughing. He's like, "Please just stop." And he's like, "What? Like, I was walking, I was in Manhattan on 9/11. I was walking through blood and bones trying to find my brother." And the guy just is dying at this point. And then he's just dying, hand down. And he's like, "Yeah, he was in Northern Canada." Just Norm. It just is. He was saying he's looking for his brother, and he's like, "Yeah, he was in Northern Canada, just talking about his brother."
But this is the thing though, because on Bill Burr's bit, it was about the military and everyone's a hero, right? Like everybody who's served in the military is a hero, and so Bill was like, everyone, did he see any action? Was he cutting potatoes? He starts going into that how much did he do?
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't. I mean, yeah, it's a weird thing. Yes, everybody contributes to the whole cause. I mean, you could look at World War II and all the people. There's too many crazy stories of people doing things back in the U.S. in order to make sure that the machine was running well.
Yeah, well, you gotta have the cooks, you gotta have the chef to feed
exactly.
Everyone plays a part,
exactly.
Right?
Yeah, but we're glorifying. Obviously,
Exactly.
It's the people that go out with the gun, go out into this crazy thing, and have to risk their lives. And so we want to. That's who we talk about. We don't talk about the other.
It's always interesting to think about it like this too. It's like, okay, so we're playing a part in what they do as well. They have to have something to protect, right? So we maintain the economy, the country, we keep things nice, and they're protecting the country. But if we weren't here keeping this up and going, then what would they be protecting? So it's like everyone plays a part.
I think our military's past protecting the U.S.
Oh no, we're expanding.
As in the land.
We're still expanding.
We're protecting our interests. We're not protecting the U.S.
No. Well, I mean, they're protecting it by expanding it. Is that our?
Expanding. literally impossible to take over. Even if our military wasn't the size it was, you can't. How would you form a land invasion on the U.S. unless somehow
No.
it's impossible?
No. Okay, let's think about it. I mean, the thing is, U.S. got so lucky geographically, and also with
I
our
know that's what.
like from the west and to the east, you got oceans. Good luck right now. Toronto and Vancouver basically aren't going to get together and start attacking anybody. Mexico is going to have to make a deal with the drug cartels in order to take on anything that's going on. Like it's just not. It's not happening.
That's not even all of South America. You could send up every army from
Wouldn't
South
stand a
America
chance.
to Mexico, and it wouldn't.
But see,
matter.
you're talking like it's even fair, and that we have bases in all these places already. All of these countries, we border everybody. Everybody. There's no. Where's the Russian military base in Mexico? Tell me where Chinese military base is, in Ontario. It's not there. It doesn't exist. But I can show you where every American base is, bordering all of those countries, everywhere within those. Like so, we are. It's tough. The best bet, I think, it's one of those scenarios you talked about last time, Tyler. It's mutually assured destruction. If you want to, you're going to have to figure out how to.
But that doesn't count. That doesn't count as invading. That just counts as destroying. You need to actually invading. You have to actually set something up after. You can't just
invade. How are you going to invade?
It's impossible. You need somewhere to land all your troops. You're gonna get destroyed on every beach.
Jesus. Is there a country out there that would, like North Korea? They talk the most shit lately. Could you imagine a scenario where they just decided to land in San Francisco and just like
they wouldn't get past Hawaii. Pearl Harbor
is there any way
would destroy them?
Is there no way for a stealth invasion of America?
I don't think so. No, I don't. I mean, with AI and all this, like, are we really gonna, like, are you serious?
I'm talking. I mean, really think it through. Like a rogue group. I mean, how many do you need to cause? It's going to get spurred out, but like, hey, it's a big country, man.
And in World War II, there wasn't even really a way to do a stealth invasion. They just, like on Pearl Harbor, they just got lucky where we thought it was our own planes doing a training mission, and they just let them come in.
Pearl Harbor's a mystery. I know a little bit about that, having read a book. You're not wrong, but there's some people may have known as well.
Oh, you're saying before? Oh,
exactly.
To give us an excuse to go in.
There's some solid evidence because we needed to. If we're going to get in, we need a reason. There was clearly no. The consensus was we don't need to join this crazy. Europe's always at war. We don't need to. We need to deal with their stuff. Let them sort it out.
Mm-hmm. No, I get it.
But it's very possible also that we just fell asleep and, we got bombed on, and that's what it is. Like I don't know, dude. I really don't. But
it's crazy. The U.S. I think it's the USS Arizona. There's still oil coming up. If you go to Pearl Harbor, you can see oil still coming up from the ship. Like it's fuel. I guess there's the hole in it isn't that big, so you can still see oil coming up to the water from the ship.
I don't really know
crazy.
Where that. Like my understanding, you've been to Hawaii. But you haven't been to Hawaii, have you?
Nope, I don't plan on going either.
Why
not? You stay in Olathe, stay in heaven. I'm going to go to Hawaii. You can stay in Kansas.
Fly somewhere for that long. Why am I going to go to Hawaii? Are you kidding me? Get it? No.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Anywhere else?
Where would you go?
Anywhere else?
I mean,
fuck Hawaii,
Japan
dude.
And
fuck Hawaii.
South Korea.
Who's going to Hawaii, dude?
Well, Japan is.
It's far, dude.
It's too far. It's too far for. I'm just gonna go to LA. Basically Hawaii. Basically the same thing. Go to the Bahamas. Way cooler. Way cooler than Hawaii. Jamaica. Way cooler than Hawaii. Iceland.
I wish I
way cooler.
Iceland. Yeah, I don't know anything about
Hawaii's cool. No, I've never been. I was just joking.
Yeah.
Hawaii. It's cool. Hawaii has every climate except one. I think we went over this before, except for like subarctic is the only climate that Hawaii doesn't have.
Subarctic. I have been to 5 continents. No, I have not been to Australia, and I've not been to Antarctica.
How come you've never been to Australia?
It's Australia. Hey, it is too far away. Like
we should go there. We should make a trip. We should plan a trip to go to Australia.
So you don't want to go to Hawaii, but you want to go fly across halfway around the world to go to Australia. That's your plan?
There is a flight that I believe just opened this year. Now COVID hit, so they probably canceled all that. But it was going to go from New York, I think, to Australia, just a straight flight. I think it was the world's longest flight.
Are you serious?
I don't know how long.
Does it go over the top? Or I guess under? I guess it would go on. Maybe.
Okay, it's Qantas is about to test the world's longest nonstop flight, taking passengers from New York to Australia in 20 hours.
Oh my! Ugh. Oh, I don't think I want to do that, guys. I think I want to fly to like Europe, hang out for a couple days, pop onto the plane, then go to Australia. I got to break that up.
No, you break it up.
Well, why wouldn't you stop? Why wouldn't you go the other way and then you could
How
finally
far of
go
a
to
flight
Hawaii?
is Australia to Hawaii?
I think it's like
I don't
9
know where
hours.
Hawaii is. That's my biggest issue. It's just on like school maps. It's just this little thing in the corner of the page.
That's so true.
It's like exactly midway between Japan and the West Coast, except it's like south.
Why does America have that?
Because
yeah, there you go.
Because we needed a military base.
We needed a base. It's about 10 hours, by the way, from looks like Hawaii and Australia.
So it's pretty far away. You might as well, if you're going to go to Hawaii, you're basically going to Japan.
From Kansas, it's only probably a 9-hour flight.
That's not that. I mean, that's a European flight.
It's really not that much. Yeah, you can get.
We need to build a train, an underwater train that goes from the like LA, right to.
Yeah. Why don't we have that? I'm sick of flying like this. Like, right? Wait a second. Like, we've all roughly been on Earth for 30 some odd years, and we don't have enough. We didn't move forward enough. I don't feel like we've moved forward quick enough yet. Like, we had cars and trains, and I need a faster. I know the military has what was it called? They had a jet, Aurora, the Aurora space. It's still military, but like you could travel. The Concorde? How fast is the Concorde?
The Concorde could get to Europe, I think, in like 2.5 hours.
That is absolutely insane. We're all in this world that it takes us 10 hours or 12 hours to get to Europe, and there's other people out there that can just get to Europe in 2 hours.
No. This used to be it.
Do you want to hear it? All right. So a normal subsonic service took around 7 to 8 hours to fly from London to New York, but Concorde's average flight time is 3 hours and 30 minutes, but can be slightly longer if the aircraft needs to hold before landing at the local airports. So yeah, 3 hours and 30 minutes.
That's how long it takes me to get to Des Moines, Iowa, dude.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, see, I'm not satisfied. Like we need to start calling out inventors and like you wanted to talk about inventing and like we're basically done here today. But like, no, somebody get on this. Get me. Stop making me take 7 and 8 hour flights in a little tin can and get me there faster. Can we not call on these inventors? Are they slacking?
Is there really not a way, like for COVID, for the example of COVID, we can't fly because of a virus. Is there really not something we can do in our planes so we can still travel and not pass it? Is there really nothing we can do? We can only sit in these shitty chairs. Like, what is going on?
I know. Somebody stop pushing. I feel like we got lazy or
someone. This is exactly what like Will like just like as we close this out. Like, for example, Gymshark. They came out, they got their workout stuff. It's, it's like other people, but they did something really well with their marketing, and now they have Gymshark. So Gymshark does well, and then now I go on Instagram. If you follow Gymshark, you obviously get spit a bunch of ads from other different kinds of apparel companies. And I came across a company called Dry Duck. Dry Duck.
What's this? Dried duck.
You you want to know why it's called dry duck? I don't know the company. I know why it's called that though. It's because ducks they have oil on their skin. So if you ever drop water on actual duck feather, it will form like individual droplets and just slide off. So they
Wow.
actually don't get
So
wet.
do ducks go underwater?
Yeah, they'll like dive down. They'll be like swimming on top of the water, then they'll like dive down to go find some fish or bugs or whatever they're looking for.
Yeah, basically, there's all these companies that just they're naming their thing after an animal and then just throwing some other thing into it. And I can't find the other one I saw on Instagram yesterday, but there's like 4 or 5 companies now that are on the same premise of Gymshark, and it's just like one person has a good idea, and then a bunch of people just copy it, and that's literally it. That's America.
Yeah, that's not innovative. You mean you're right?
What would you guys think of an airline, or if they offered flights where you could only go on it if you had carry-on luggage, and then they would make them more spacious, or you could even have like a double-decker plane since you wouldn't need anywhere for the cargo
wait.
underneath?
That's it? Yeah, you could just only carry on. No, how far are you traveling? How far are you taking me?
What if you had an airline, Golorami Airlines, and no carry-on? You bring yourself, your cell phone, and
I like it.
like nothing, and
Nothing.
included in your ticket, you get a credit card, and when you land,
Boom.
you can just go buy clothes, whatever
I got
you
you.
need.
I got you
for the
one more.
trip.
I got you one better. Golorami being what it is. You come on. Yeah, just like you said. No nothing. You bring nothing on this flight. So we've already taken care of security. Maybe even people only can wear one article of clothing. Like we're not even going to have metal detectors. We can just already see that shit. We're good. No credit card, B. We're gonna sponsor our flights. So Chipotle is gonna bring food. We're gonna have Gymshark give you your workout clothes ready in a nice little. So everything is set for you when you land. Boom, right there. You throw it in the bin or whatever. They'll wash. Maybe we
Give you a
do
bag,
something with
whatever.
it.
Yeah, whatever.
We give it away, or we give it to we donate that shit. You get back on the flight. When you get back to your house, we got this little special. We've washed your car for you. We washed your dog. We cleaned your house. We're full service. We took your significant other, whether the guy or a girl. We got him a makeover while you were gone.
Trained your kid for soccer.
You just replaced them. You just upgraded them.
It's passed
You have a
math
new-
class now.
It's like what's the show that's really popular? Queer Eye. It's like Queer Eye, but like times 15.
Okay, I don't know the show. I see a bunch of references. I obviously know when I hear it in pop culture. I don't know what it
So
is. I don't know.
yeah, they actually came to Kansas City and filmed a couple seasons in Kansas City. But it's an idea that was obviously copied by America. Once again, great segue into this. But it was done in other countries, and it's just a group of gay guys that go to someone's home that basically a family member or friend will nominate them as somebody who needs to take care of themselves better, dress better, better makeup, self discovery, and how to cook. And they just take someone who's an idiot and has no fashion or food or any of that kind of stuff, and they basically come in and they're specialists and they help them be more fabulous
see.
than whatever.
Yeah. It's kind of a makeover. Like they start them up at the beginning, and then by the end, they're looking like they
they're looking
transform into
great.
David Beckham,
They're
George
looking great.
Clooney,
Yeah.
Denzel Washington looking guy. Okay, yeah. All right.
Yep.
Do they check up on them later, or do they just because they all just revert right back to what they were doing like a few weeks later?
Yeah, it's not sustainable. I don't think that you can just have 5 people come in and just tell you to change your whole house and the way you dress and the way you think, and then a week later, just your whole life is just like what. I would love to just create a series on following up with all of the people who are part of those shows.
They're all miserable now. They're all in debt and jail and
That's what, I love watching Kitchen Nightmares with Gordon Ramsay, where he goes in to fix a bunch of restaurants, and he'll go fix, and you have Gordon Ramsay, like the greatest chef, arguably like in the world, come in, tell them all the stuff they should do. Then they'll come back a month later, and the menu's back to what it was before, and they're doing what they were doing before. Just like, what are you guys?
He has
doing?
2 personalities now. He has one personality where he's freaking out, And then he has this other personality, which I think is more of his forward-facing brand now, of just being a really cool dude, loves to cook, likes to joke around, likes to do social media content, doing master classes.
He's really chill. He's just very demanding. He's like a coach. Like he's like you got those coaches that are really cool off the field, and then they're just on the field. They're
I don't
just
buy into the
out of
idea that he's
control.
like that. I think he's acting. Like that's just his TV show. That's what he's.
Which one
Hell's
is the actor?
Kitchen.
My question.
Hell's Kitchen is the actor because I watch a lot of his cooking stuff on the UK. That's America. That's his American personality, Tyler. That's all America. People love to see the drama and people getting screamed at, and that's what people. It's not. He's not like that when he's working with, doing his main cooking channels that's more popular in the UK and like that kind of stuff.
But yeah, but his cooking channels are still. I think Hell's Kitchen is actually to give someone a job to work in one of his restaurants. So he is a little more. He definitely does do it, but I think he actually does get really when he's actually trying to teach people.
See, but I actually think the way to fix the people that are people need to. You guys out there, you guys need to consult with us if you want these shows to actually change people's lives. Because what you do is you need a little Gordon Ramsay coach. CB, once you go in there, or once you have what's the name of the show? The Queer Eye.
Yeah, Queer Eye.
What's it called?
Yeah.
Queer Eye. So once you do that, what you got to do, and everybody on Queer Eye is gay.
Yep.
All those dudes.
Yep.
So what you do is once you're done, is that you've got your gay interns, and you leave those guys at the house.
They just live there
to make sure for 2 weeks or 3 weeks until habits form over time. You don't just do something in 3 days and then just do it. So we're going to leave, Queer Eye interns at your house, and they're going to make sure, or if it's a workout show, we're going to leave the military boot camp officer in your house.
If we're doing that, why don't you bring them to you like a drug rehab place?
I can tell you why. Because they're going to return to their natural habitat, and they're not going to have that habit formed there. So we got to go to where you live, where you feel most comfortable, and form the habits there. So you start to associate good workout, good fashion, all that stuff at your home, where you're at, and we'll change your life there.
Well, we can. While they're in the rehab, we can fix their house to look exactly like the rooms in the rehab house, and then we can actually have a double show where it's the home makeover.
Yeah, dude, I thought that was my life as a kid. I thought that everything was planned and acted out. I was very paranoid as a kid. Like I thought that when I was watching Oprah, at my grandparents, during the day, that they were just doing that for me. And I thought that I was part of this big thing, and everyone was in on it, and then I didn't know. I literally thought this when I was kindergarten. I remember explaining it to my mom, and she being like, "What are you talking about?" And then I saw the Truman Show, and I was like, "That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's what I felt like my whole life." Yeah.
Wow. Could you imagine that could still be true? It just could be bigger in a different I don't know. I'm just for the sake of this argument. What?
This is South Park has another episode on this where the world is just a big reality TV show where every species is actually from a different planet. There's a whole zebra planet, there's a whole giraffe planet, there's a whole human, there's an Asian planet, a black, and then they just threw them all.
What would you care if that was true? Well, I mean, you can't do much about it.
No, yeah, I mean, if that's it, then I think that's kind of just what life is, right? You're just kind of thrown into this thing that you weren't asked to be thrown into, and you just got to figure it out, and then you're gonna die at some point.
And then you're gonna die. This is life. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, because if it was a TV show, wouldn't you want to mess with the producers and stuff like that? You start doing things like.
I don't think it would work. I don't think it'd work on an individual.
So what, are they tuning into Biscuits and Tea because three humans are together?
No, they're probably watching the U.S. tear itself apart after they injected a little corona into the system.
Sport. I think it's a blood sport. I think that really smart people are messing with the world as sport. Because you think about back in the day, in the 1800s, I have a boxer And I was just like, I was trying to figure out like why are boxers like standing on their hind legs, and like, why is my puppy doing the punching? Like, why are they called this? Looking at the history, obviously, like, these dogs were bred back in the 1800s in the UK for blood sport, and they would literally like kill bulls. They would take these bulls and they would like piss them off by putting pepper in their nose and like whatever to piss off a bull, and they'd let them go in these like neighborhoods or like wherever people would meet. And these boxers, they would let them loose like one by one, and either the bull would kill the dog or knock it off or whatever, or this boxer would kill the bull. And I'm just like, holy crap. Okay, so if that's something that like entertained people on mass scale and it was widely accepted until animal cruelty and things like that became part of our culture, what's going on right now with us? Like, is there a blood sport on a global scale? Or
The Remy, I'm sure you're familiar with that short story, The Most Dangerous Game. Oh, it's one where this dude he lives on this island, and it's pretty treacherous for ships. So a lot of times ships will sink and people will come over to his island, and then he'll invite them into his house, let them eat, and like, okay, I'm gonna hunt you. If you survive 3 days, you can go free. If not, I'm gonna kill you. And then he lets them go run off into the woods, and he gets an hour in advance, and he spends the next. It's only like a 15-page story, and then he'll spend the 3 days trying to hunt
Those stories
the person.
are ridiculous. I mean, some version of that is definitely true. There's definitely been people the idea that there's not humans out there. I'm sure you could even find proper stories. There are humans out here who have hunted other humans, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, the whole point was this guy was a very good hunter, and he got bored of hunting all these animals, and he wants a challenge.
Maybe one this time, next time two, maybe bring 3 or 4 of them, so on and so forth. Can you imagine that fact that the Colosseum in Rome, that was a thing? That was okay?
Did you know what they used to do with animals in there? They used to fight giraffes and fight. They used to bring in the craziest. They would actually just bring in animals from all over and not even really fight them, just slaughter. They would just have a giraffe and someone would just go kill a giraffe, and that was just it would just be entertainment. Just bring in these weird exotic animals, someone would
That
just
was
go up
okay.
and go kill them,
And everybody would
then
get together. Can you guys imagine? Do you know, it wasn't that long ago that the last beheading, I think it was the last, you guys know the guillotine, famous in France for, chopping off someone's head, just a thing that comes down. The last public execution of it was actually filmed. You can see it. You can watch it. So it wasn't that long ago, dude. Like, yeah, you can see it.
I mean, it's outside of like its aesthetics. It's proven that that's a much more humane way of killing people than lethal injection.
Right. Is that the issue with lethal injection? Is that you go nuts?
Lethal injection takes like 5 minutes or something of you just slowly being poisoned.
Oof. Yeah, at least when you get your head chopped off, it's just like boom, you're done, dude.
You guys, you never seen all those studies where they're trying to? Yeah, they were always trying to. There's stories of guys. Oh man, of people being able to talk for one guy was able to talk for like I don't know how long, 20 seconds or something after his head was decapitated.
What?
Some crazy stuff. Google, you got to see some of those. There's some stories, dude.
I didn't hear about the talking one. I've heard of people saying like, okay, we're gonna like, I guess you're being killed for whatever reason. Like, okay, try to blink as many times as possible after.
God, it would suck to be one of these people that are part of this study. I know, but I'm not going to.
Well, I think they're being executed, and maybe they would say, "We'll give your family."
Off my head, assholes.
If you're some peasant, and they're saying, "Okay, we'll give your family some gold coins," we're killing you for stealing that loaf of bread, and your family's going to starve. But if you do this little thing after, we're going to kill you anyways. Try to blink as many times as possible.
Yeah, basically the culture. It's going to be part of that time, though. This whole honor culture, complete different thing. Maybe back then, maybe you're convinced that.
Yeah, I guess they could write a contract. Legally binding.
So, you probably would have heard of someone else too. Like your neighbor probably got beheaded a month earlier for tripping somebody.
I need to update the record real quick. I feel bad for Dry Duck. I feel bad about Dry Duck. Dry Duck was founded in 2003, and Gymshark was founded in 2013, I think, is what I saw. But Dry Duck was around first.
Ooh, Gymshark is the culprit.
They just like
To
take.
correct the record. I'd like to correct the record. It looks like we've got Wet Turtle. They came out in 1999. So it would appear that Dry Duck has actually been. There's probably something like this, dude, for like 60 years. It's like music. You're like, damn, that's a sick beat, and they're like, that's Stevie Wonder, right? Like,
That's going to start happening more and more because people are taking samples and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I think it's a good thing. Obviously, everyone's inspired by something else. But I feel like I was on Instagram yesterday. I was just going through, and I just kept seeing like Wet Turtle, Dry Duck, Gymshark, Cat Sock, or it's like literally this is like nonstop of these like little niche brands or people probably that just like this animal who've liked pages of this animal and then like apparel brands, and then someone was like, okay, this person likes cats, and they like high end socks, cat sock.
And you're getting all those obviously because you're within the whole sport community and sport world, obviously. But I'm just going to go ahead and say I don't care what you cannot. This is one of those things. I guess this could be almost like a religion to me. You are listening to my conversations. If I say something Apple, iPhone, or whatever, and I get an ad later on for whatever it is, not Dry Duck now because I clicked on it. But if I get like a Wet Turtle, ad later, I didn't type anything about turtles. I didn't do it. But if it's like, here, you can bathe your turtle at our zoo and all this thing. I know they're listening. I know it. I know it.
This just happened with us yesterday, where you and Masha were trying to teach me something in Croatian, and Masha's phone gives her a learn Croatian ad. Her phone gives someone who knows how to speak fluent Croatian as their native tongue a learn Croatian ad.
All the time. And I'm telling you, right now, we sound crazy, and then all that's going to happen is in 10 years, Google's going to go, sorry, no, we were... no, we said we couldn't do it, but
There was
I guess
a bug
we
in the
could.
system.
Sorry. So check out this new virtual reality cat.
So, anyways,
and we'll all go, oh my god, no way! Like the giraffe can actually fly, and we'll just look at it and go, la, 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 and they'll do the next thing.
Yeah,
that's what we do.
Yep,
absolutely insane. So,
I think we're on to something about bathing turtles, though. I just sent you a little article.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, is there a turtle bathing? Can you bathe a turtle? Bull baiting. I mean, I guess you could bathe a turtle. I don't see anything why. Well, now I've clicked on it, B. So now we're not going to find out whether or not the turtle bathing companies,
Where did you send this?
Aggressive turtle bath time. This is the perfect place to end. Obviously, we've gone so far off where I don't even know. Thank God this is Biscuit.
Yeah. I think it's good. I think it's healthy for us just to get all of the random thoughts organized. I can start my weekend. I feel like I have some sort of understanding. Every time we end this, I feel like we discovered answers to things.
Yeah.
What did we discover? Well, Will, can you just recap real quick? Can you just tell us what we discovered today?
Yeah, let me get you. Go ahead and start off. Did we not start with pilots, or was that before? That was pre-air, because you never actually told us, Tyler. We've gone ahead and discovered COVID. We sorted out what was going on with COVID. We sorted out why it was being politicized. We sorted out the Vatican inside, the library. We sorted out Concorde can fly, essentially, basically too quick. We sorted out that Kansas City is one of the greatest places on earth, and why Washington and everybody that settled there was just basically, letting it ride off the Queen of England.
Yeah, just
right?
ride, really.
Just letting that ride. We discovered how far it was from Australia to Hawaii, 9 hours. I could be missing a few more things. The Crusades, guillotine.
Well, the airplane one was actually, we discovered that airplanes have been slacking, or transportation's been slacking, was really what that came to.
Talking about how words can have different meanings and how you can learn from how they can be hurtful, and then evolve us to a better person and it not be a huge issue.
So
yeah,
this show, Tyler, is pretty scholarly. I mean,
bull bathing turtles. Like, I don't know what else you want. You want to talk about this banana plant real quick?
Yeah, I haven't
Look at
learned
this.
anything about
We got a
bathing
banana
turtles.
plant. You see this? It's
Yeah.
a plant, and it looks like bananas. That is
Yeah.
bananas. That's my new
I'm gonna go ahead and
dad joke.
let's go ahead and send this link for the podcast into Harvard. See if they want to give us any honorary degrees, or see if maybe Yale. We'll put them both against each other, maybe, because I mean they're both going to be fighting over trying to get us into the school. Obviously, now. Yeah, you're right. That's probably better.
Honestly, I'd rather go over to Stanford. I feel like Yale and Harvard kind of ride off of their name a bit too much.
That might be.
I think they're slacking. I think Stanford's the way to go.
So we always get to
the
this point of the show where like we want to keep talking a little bit, but it should end. I think we should have a end of show, like we're gonna end the show on a question. And Tyler, we'll call it extra time. And
extra time.
Tyler or someone for today, I think it should be Tyler, answers a question and then we end it. So today's
do you have a question for him?
Yeah. Today's extra time question: why do pilots talk the way they talk? When we talked about last show about they have the we got the southwest winds coming in at 35 miles per hour.
Yeah, thanks, Bill. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys know we got 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Just go ahead and hold on a second, co-pilot Tyler. Just we need to update the staff on everything. Let's go ahead and bring it in at 45 breaker.
Make sure you got your seatbelt fastened. If you see the overhead, yeah, okay. Why do they do that, Tyler?
Okay, yeah. Tell us.
So I don't have the reason
You
for
literally
why
said
that's
before
actually
the
the
show
way
that
they
you
decided
knew.
to do it, but the reason that they no. So I'm gonna no. I know. So I know. Let me just explain. The reason why they do that is because, and they teach them to do that, is because they want them all talking the exact same way, no matter where they are. So when they talk to air control from different countries, wherever it is, they all have the same speech pattern. They all have the same language. They all have the same tone, so that it's easier for them to understand. So you don't have to worry about not like misunderstanding what they're saying. But I don't know why they chose that specific way of talking. But that's
I'm calling bullshit. Get a pilot on.
That's why they all talk like that.
We need a pilot. Yeah. Of all the things that we've just said, and I just want to run down our guest list right now, and we need a more concentrated effort. We need a doctor from the COVID superstars, at least. They are, but we need a doctor, a biologist or a wildlife specialist. A cannibal. Tyler's wanted a cannibal on. I want to repeat that. Somehow we're supposed to get a cannibal on the show. A pilot. We can definitely get like.
We need a pilot.
Yeah, we need a pilot because pilot's gonna have some crazy stories too. We can talk about like UFOs and all sorts of weird stuff.
I might know someone. You went to high school.
Pilot? Like what kind of?
You
want to name him or?
I think his name's fuck. I should know his name. I think his name's Quentin.
Oh,
Quinn. No,
astronaut.
I haven't talked to him in a long time.
Astronaut. Yeah, thanks, Tyler. Yeah, astronaut. You're right. Yeah, astronaut.
God, what is his name?
Yeah.
I would really like a UFC fighter. I want someone who's just like job is just to beat their sport is just beating the shit out of somebody.
Huge. I know someone who wanted to introduce me to a very famous UFC. Those guys?
That blows my mind.
They are crazy.
That whole sport.
Yeah, training for that.
Those guys
I would love to talk to them just about training
nuts.
in general. All their stuff is just really cool. Like the way they have to train is.
Like, could you imagine you just play like one game a year? You just get one game a year, and if you get knocked out in the first 5 seconds, like, oh, well, see you next year. Like, it's crazy.
No. I
would not be about it.
I don't know how much they're sparring and all their other stuff, like how much fun that is, how many like mini quasi fights, but it's not the game, so you're just kind of like, I don't know. Those are some pretty good guesses. Like if we could start lining that up, I'd say we're in good. Yeah, let's go hard in the paint on this and get a couple people in. We'll maybe get an engineer in here to start building the weather dome as well.
Yeah,
see if we can't.
We need to make that happen. I think we can make All American. We need to just purchase it and make that the weather dome.
Just buy an indoor facility, just make it, turn it into. What are you guys doing with all those electric cords? Well, we need the lightning. We're gonna have to have lightning. Yeah.
You think we could maybe not lightning, but we could get like one of the just like a giant little static balls. Those huge like domes. No, the static where they have the guy in the metal domes and it has all the purple lightning flying around. Yeah,
I feel like for the people that don't know what's going on, Weather Dome. I don't know, Biscuits and T6. I think we created the world's best sport. It is quite possibly one of the world's greatest.
It would be the greatest reality TV show / entertainment ever. The world's best athletes having to do what they normally do, but just throw them in a hurricane. See what they can do. Make it happen.
Ice storm, boom, tornado, hurricane-like winds, lightning strikes.
Rapid, water rapids.
Water canyons aimed by the
sinking sand.
Water rip. The field just floods. You just flood the field for like
what company are we going to get insurance from? Allstate.
Allstate. Yeah. We got to go Allstate. Allstate. You got to be in good hands.
We're going to definitely need some. We're going to need some cash. No, the first episode.
Whoever it is, we're going to bankrupt them on like the first episode.
That's not happening. They would sue everyone. No, they'd have to sign the forms though. If you just sign a form.
No, that's what I'm saying. We'll bankrupt whatever insurance company it is on the first one.
That's what makes it what it is, though.
Yeah,
without that, you get it's just another sport. This is the Weather Dome. It's an honor to be asked to go to the Weather Dome and compete.
Can we get it to be like a public government sanctioned thing, and then if someone dies, like they can just pay out through taxes?
Who's on death row can opt in to go play in the Weather Dome to maybe.
Oh, so we're gonna jump into this moral ground now.
You guys can read and study for the rest of your life, or you can go play in the Weather Dome, and maybe if you're a champion, we'll give you a chance at parole. Like a restricted parole. I mean, these people that probably murdered people if they're on death row.
I love how you're talking about how crazy the Gladiators was, and now we're just going the exact same thing.
It's fine. It just might happen.
Okay,
it might happen. Yeah. We're not encouraging it. It's not part of the sport.
No. Could you imagine? Sorry, just a last thing. Could you imagine that emperor out here? Is that true? The thumbs down, thumbs up. Like everyone would cheer, and the guy would hold the knife over his head, and he would look up at the emperor, and he would just go like this or like this to salvage his life or to cut his head off. I don't know if that's.
And then they do that, and they just like go like eat dinner after that with their kids, and it's just like a normal day.
I guess everybody too. I don't know.
Yeah.
Same with public.
How'd you like the game, Johnny?
That long ago, like we all have relatives, like not that far off. They were just cutting people, hanging people in the middle of the town square.
What a crazy!
Which I think public executions still happen here, by the way, on Earth. So,
well,
great biscuits and tea, everyone.
Have a good weekend. Have a good week. Whenever you're listening to this,
clean your turtle. Bathe your turtle.
Yep.
Yeah. Public.
Keep your turtle dry.
All right,
keep your ducks dry.
Guys, is the last one. The last public execution in the United States occurred in what year?
1907.
Tyler? Yeah, that's what he said. 1907.
You say 1907? I'm guessing it was I'm gonna go into the 50s and think
wow,
that some
that's not
spy
bad.
got
The last
executed
public
during World War
execution in the
II.
United States occurred in 1936.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So if you, yeah, that's it. I don't know what he did, but 1936. It's just not long ago. All those things. Depression.
What was going on in 1936? That's like such a weird. The 30.
I think we were getting out of the depression. I don't know. It wasn't the heart of the depression. I think we were getting out of the depression. The World War was gearing up. No, but yeah. All right, biscuits and tea. Subscribe. Do all the rest of that stuff. Check it out. And I guess we'll see you later. Biscuits and B&T boys. What do we call this? What are we calling our
The B&T boys and the Tea Party.
B&T?
The Bad Tea Boys
Bad
and the
Tea Boys?
Tea Party.
Yeah, we're everything. They're just gonna have to have a few names for now. We'll have like ultras, little cliques of fans that like don't like each other. I'm a B&T boy. I'm the bad boy
Gonna be
Tea
huge.
Party or whatever. It's like they're at war with them.
Oh.
Okay.
All
All
right.
right. Let's cut this shit. All right. Later, people.